Hey everyone, I'm Amy, part of the Touring Plans team, and I'm also the mom of an adult son who uses the Attractions Assistance Pass, or the AAP, every time we go to visit Universal Orlando Resort. If you're headed to Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, or the new Epic Universe, and someone in your group has a disability that makes it tough to wait in long lines, this video is for you. We're going to talk about the AAP program, how it works, how to apply, the IAC card from IBCCES, and some tips to make your day at the parks a lot easier. Epic's a new park. Changes happen. Hit the subscribe button and we'll attach any updates to our accessibility playlist. Let's get into it. So what is the Attractions Assistance Pass? The AAP for guests whose disability makes it hard to wait in a regular line. It's available at all three parks, Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and the new Epic Universe. Now, just to be clear, this pass isn't meant for guests using wheelchairs or mobility devices. If you use a mobility aid, the team members at the attractions can help you out. There are so many steps at Epic, y'all. Getting the AAP at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. If you're going to Studios or Islands of Adventure, you'll want to stop at guest services outside of the park entrance. That's where you'll get set up with the AAP. Now, if you already have an individual attractions card or an IAC and a universal case number, there's a dedicated line that really speeds up the process. If you don't know what an IAC is, don't worry, I'll cover it later in the video. At Epic Universe, there are multiple locations for guest services and concierge, but they serve different purposes. We want to make sure you go to the location that meets your needs. Nobody wants to wait in one line just to be told you need to go to another. So as you're approaching Epic, before you get to security and on the right, this guest services location has a dedicated queue for guests with an IAC and a universal case number. After you get past the entry, right before the portal, so you do security, you do the ticket scanning, and then over to your right, there's a location that's first aid and guest services. This is the only location where the accessibility team is. So if you do not have an IAC or a universal case number, but you need accommodations, that's where you go. They are the only people that are able to help issue accommodations. And then there are these concierge locations, which are great, much more service oriented than the two original parks at Universal. There are 3 of these locations throughout Celestial Park. So there's one between Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe. And then there's one outside of Wizarding World of Harry Potter and one outside of Isle of Berg. If you have your IAC and a universal case number, they can issue you an AAP, and it might be faster even than the initial outside. But again, that's only if you have the IAC and a universal case number. Reminder, bring your whole group with you and make sure everyone has their ticket or passes ready when you're setting up the AAP. Okay, how do you use the AAP in the parks? Once you're all set up with your AAP, here's how it works. First, head to the ride you want to go on. Second, find the team member at the entrance and ask for a return time. They'll write one down for you based on the current standby wait. You're free to enjoy the park while you wait, eat, ride other rides, walk around, find a chill space to relax. When your return time rolls around or any time after, head back to the ride and show your AAP. The team member will take you through the express pass lane, then ride and enjoy. Quick tip, don't put your AAP card in a locker. Ask me how I know. Keep it with you past all the checkpoints. A lanyard is a great option so you don't lose it. What is an IAC and should you get one? Let's talk about the individual attractions card, or IAC. This is something you can get through IBCCES. It basically confirms that you or your child has a documented disability or medical condition, and it helps Universal know what kinds of accommodations might be needed. The IAC is totally free and it's optional, but having it can make your whole process way easier and faster if you can get documentation without an extra cost to you and you're comfortable sharing yours or your child's personal medical information online, then we do recommend it. How to get a free IAC. Getting your IAC does take a little bit of prep. Here's what you'll need. Some documentation showing limitations like school records, a screenshot from a patient portal, or a doctor's note that lists the accommodations you would need, but the doctor's note does not have to have the diagnosis. contact info for your provider or school, and a recent clear photo of the person applying for the IAC. We have all of the links and everything you need in our blog article on touringplans.com. And then I'll also drop websites and phone numbers in the description of this video. After you have all of your documents ready, and you head to the IBCCES website or download their app. Answer their questions. Yes, the form could be easier. It's so direct. Moms want to give information. There's no space for that. But you fill it out and you submit it. You should hear back within 48 hours. If something's unclear, they might ask, they'll send an email asking you for a different document. So keep an eye on your inbox. Don't forget to call Universal. Once you've got your IAC and you've bought your tickets, call the Universal Accessibility Team at 407-817-8349. Again, we'll drop that in the description. They'll have a quick conversation with you and set up a universal case number. After that, you're done. You won't have to have that awkward conversation ever again, as long as you make sure your IAC stays current. So then you have your IAC and your universal case number, you're good to go. And just like Disney, not everyone qualifies for the same accommodations. For example, conditions like bathroom urgency usually get return to queue access instead of full AAP. I know that is so much information. So here's a quick recap. The AAP is Universal's program that helps guests that don't have mobility issues but still cannot tolerate a traditional line for extended periods of time. It's available at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Epic Universe. Bring your whole party and all tickets when setting it up. You have an IAC and a case number. You get in faster line at guest services. The IAC is free, optional, and helps speed up the process. Keep your AAP with you. Don't stash it in a locker. And be sure to call Universal's accessibility team to set up your case number after your IAC has been approved. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. We're always happy to help. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our Accessibility at Universal playlist for more tips, updates, and walkthroughs. We also have all the details and links in the Touring Plans blog. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Amy with Touring Plans. I hope your Universal trip is fun, smooth, and just a little bit easier. See you in the parks.